Then you all can give me permission.
No, ma'am.
Yes.
Then Tanish, you'll have to deny permission.
कोई नहीं ma'am.
Okay. So Tapodir, you don't know Tanish and Harshit, right? So
No.
Harshit, you can go first. Can you introduce yourself to Tapodir? And then Tapodir can introduce himself to you.
Je m'appelle Harshit. Comment vous appelez-vous?
Je m'appelle Tapoder.
Anybody can ask questions to go on with the conversation. If the other person is blank, what to say next, then whoever wants to ask questions to know that person more can continue.
Où habites-tu?
Où
I didn't get
habites-tu?
that.
Où habites-tu is where do you stay?
Stay.
So you will have to say j'habite à and wherever you stay. Like I'll say j'habite à Mumbai. Harshit
J'habite,
à New Delhi. Où habites-tu?
j'habite à Kolkata.
And okay, Tapodir, quel âge as-tu?
As-tu?
I think you've not done this in the video, so don't worry. Quel âge as-tu, Harshit?
J'ai 23 ans.
J'ai 23 ans.
3 ans.
23 years old. Okay, so now Tanish. Can you introduce yourself to Tapodir? He doesn't know you.
Je m'appelle Tanish.
Enchanté de te rencontrer.
Très bien, Tapodir. Tanish is saying you enchanté de te rencontrer. At least say moi aussi. Me too.
Me too. Mausi.
Moi aussi. Okay. Nice. The introduction was nice. Who is giving me numbers from 1 to 20?
In French.
Of course. Why in English, Tanish? I'm confident you know 1 to 20 in English. Okay, Harshit. So 1 to 20.
0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then
11,
11,
12,
12, 13, 14,
14,
14,
15.
15, 18.
No, after
I'm
cans,
sorry,
says
this,
17,
17, 18, 19 and 20.
20. And I'm assuming you don't know from 20 to 100, right?
No.
Okay. Tapodir, do you know your numbers from 1 to 20? Did you come across that yet?
Yes, like I'm looking at the chart right now, so I can probably see and tell, but I've not yet memorized it completely.
Okay, let's see your pronunciations.
0, 1, 2, 3,
Do.
4, 3.
Okay, so Tapodir, let's do one thing. Can you repeat and then maybe you can write down the pronunciations and memorize it later, okay?
Just let me get.
Can I?
Okay, Tanish wants to try. Tapodir, let's hear Tanish try and then we give the pronunciations. Okay, Tanish.
1, 2, 3, 4, Trot-
those trois is sounding more like Spanish, Tanish. So can you do one thing when I'm giving the numbers right now from 0 to 20 to Tapodir? Maybe you can write the pronunciation. Okay, Harshit, maybe you can write the pronunciation after 12 if you want. If you know, then it's fine. Okay, so 0 is zero,
0.
and you all can, like just Kanish did, you all can feel free to repeat 0 loudly.
0,
0.
A,
The.
D,
the,
trois,
trois,
Wa.
quatre,
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 cinq,
8. 5.
5,
six,
6.
sept.
7,
Sept.
You feel like pronouncing it with a P, sept, but the P is silent. So it is set,
7,
set.
7. Okay.
Huit,
8,
neuf, neuf,
9,
dix.
9. 10.
10.
Okay, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Tanish, have you written the pronunciation? You have to write
Ma'am,
it in order to not make mistakes. Otherwise, you will again make pronunciation mistakes. And basically, if the pronunciation is not correct, no use of doing French, how much ever you can write it well. Because
but-
when going to France, they're going to check
ma'am,
your
how to write a pronunciation? Matlab, like proper sat, like
How will you remember the Tapodir and Harshit? Can you help him how to write pronunciation?
the.
Harshit, you're on mute if you're helping him.
I'm saying that you
Copy.
can write it in Hindi if you're okay in pronouncing that word.
That's how I do. I write the Hindi Then for the, I write the. For trua, I write it in Hindi. Trua. Quatre, again, I write it in Hindi. Quatre. If you don't know too much Hindi, then you put it in other sounds
English.
that you know in English. Because not necessary.
Text English.
Yeah. Okay, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do you want to try one, Tapodir?
Yes, I'll try. It's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay, so Tanish, not that Tapodir memorized it now, but he wrote the pronunciation in his book. So he's at least pronouncing it right. So when he goes home and he'll learn it by himself, he won't learn it wrong. So you also do the same. Do you want me to give you the pronunciations again or you're okay?
Yes, ma'am.
You want the
Okay.
pronunciations again? Okay, 0, 0,
Hmm.
a,
Hmm.
the, trois, trois, quatre,
Cat.
quatre, quatre. It's quatre. Literally, it is quatre. Quatre.
Hmm.
Sank. The ship sank. Sank. Cease. Cease. like SIS. So 6 is Cs. Set, SET. Set, P is silent. Wheat, I remember the wheat that we eat. Wheat. Nerf, this. So SIX was Cs, DIX is this. 11 is ons. 12 is dus. 13 is tres. So ons, dus, tres. 14 is 14. Remember, there's always a confusion between 4 and 14. 4 is 4 and 14 is 14. 15 is cans. 16 is says. So ons, dus, tres, 14, cans, says. Now 17 is basically a combination of 10 and 7 with a dash in the middle. So 10 is these, 7 is
These.
sets. So these sets and a dash between a the and a set. These sets. I've
sets.
written it on the chat. These sets. Eighteen is again 10 and 8. So what will it be?
10 and 8. D, V.
These,
Yeah, only
Easy.
the pronunciation, the S will do a Z sound because liaison. It's followed by a vowel or a H. So we'll say these with.
Ma'am, this set वो रहा ना this set.
These sets.
Hmm.
These set sounds the same because there is an S of the set, no? So these set. These with.
This set.
Okay. Next one. The nerve. This nerve. Well, these nerve is also these nerve because DIX is these. So these nerve. 10 and 9 and VA. Spelling of 20 is VINGT. So people pronounce it as van, winget, lot of things. But the pronunciation is VA. Well, as the spelling is VINGT. VA. VA.
Ma'am, pronounce Y. 20th.
VA. Not Y. VA.
Ma'am, 19th क्या बता दो?
These nerve. 10
हाँ.
and 9. These nerve. And a dash in the middle. Okay. So, Tapode, do you want to try 11 to 20?
yes. It's ons, dus, tres, 14, cans, ses, 17, 18,
These with.
this now,
So
these
10
we,
8 is with, 10 is these. So 18 would be these with.
these with, then this enough, then where,
Va.
one.
Okay, so you said these with. It sounded like the with, VITH. It's not with, it's these with.
These we.
Yeah, not with. Tanish, very well written, Tapodir. Harshit, I'm assuming you know 1 to 20. Tanish, with the pronunciations, can you read it?
Yes, ma'am. Zero,
Zero,
a,
the,
throughout,
trois,
trois, quatre,
quatre,
cinq,
cinq,
six,
six,
sept,
sept, S-E-T,
sorry, sept, sept, huit, neuf, dix,
dix, very good. Onze,
onze, douze, treize, quatorze, quinze,
seize,
seize,
seize, 17,
17, 18, 19.
20. Very good, Tanish. I'm so proud you didn't make a mistake with your pronunciations. So learn it, okay? Learn this for next class because numbers are very important, right? So now what happens from 20 to 30 is, if you can see the chat, 21 is 21. So 20 was va, but 21 is 21. You pronounce the T because it's followed by a vowel. I've written it in the chat. 21.
Ma'am, 22 is 21.
Yes, 21. Va is pronounced as 21 in 21 because the T is followed by the E. So 20 and 1. ET is and in French. So 20 and 1. 21. 21. Now 22 onwards is basically 20-2. So you go on. 22. So 20 and 2. 23. 20 and 3. 24. 20 and 4. So basically, if you know your numbers 1 to 10 very well, then the numbers till 100 go very easy. So 23, 24. So who can tell me what is 25?
5.
25. Who can tell me 26?
26.
Yes. 27.
27. Set.
Set. Yes. 28.
Vans with
28. 29.
Van
No.
And then finally 30 is,
base.
yes,
Tron.
trons. No, unfortunately, it's not 20 and 10. It's 30. There's a number for it. So trons. Okay. So now I want you to write again, tront air 31. And then 32 will be tron the tron through. Okay. So can you write this on your own in your book now? 30 to then 40 and then 50. So everything 31 to 40, 41 to 50. So I'm only going to give you all what is 40, 40, and what is 50. The middle portion you have to fill. Yes. 40 and 50. And the middle portions you have to fill. That is from 31 to 39 and 41 to 49. Can you do it? Tanish, got it?
Yes, ma'am.
So just write it in your book quickly. It will be a good practice.
Ma'am, 30 का क्या बताया था?
Trons. I've written it on the chat. Trons. I'm writing it again for you.
Ma'am, 31 का फिर throne क्या बोला? Thrones as a throne. So
31 will be Trontea. Trontia. I put it on chat. Just like it was Vanthea, this is Tronthea. And then go on. Tronde, Tronthua, Troncath. Then again Caronthea. And go on. Caronde, Caronde, Caronthua until Sancons. Is everyone okay if we keep the class Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 12 to 1? Or it's too much of French for y'all?
It's okay. Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
So of course we'll give you a leeway if you don't want to come. We can't force you because this is something we're doing it now. Like generally we don't take classes, but then we've seen that it's working well for some people who have done the classes and gone to France. So since you all don't have much time because you all are leaving, I think Tanish had to leave in July, I think. So his visa should come anytime now. So Tanish, I don't know how many classes will you get?
अभी सही नहीं आया अभी.
It'll come. Just like the Anant, no, it came, right, Tanish? So it'll come.
In my
मैम
case,
सैटरडे संडे नहीं गिने जाते क्या?
Problem is, Tanish, you know what? Saturday, Sunday is the only time where we get free. Like we told you earlier, because Kinjal is also working with us morning to
No,
evening.
no, no, ma'am. I'm telling like visa में सैटरडे संडे नहीं गिने जाते क्या?
No, Saturday, Sunday is a holiday in the embassy.
तो मैम मैं फिर डेज मतलब विदाउट सैटरडे मतलब सैटरडे वीकेंड्स के बिना गिनूं मतलब मैं.
हाँ, you have to weekends और कोई public holidays आई होगी तो वो भी निकालना पड़ेगा.
तो मैम फिर
my visa process has been started. I wanted to ask.
I don't know. I think that Kinjal knows. But what we'll do is we'll not keep this call for visa process because we hardly have 1 hour, no, every day. But definitely you can call Kinjal after this and ask her where is it. Because I don't know, I think it's somewhere at the PCC. Not that we don't want to talk to you about the visa here, but then just if we maintain only for French, then we'll be able to do a lot more French. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we'll be putting 12 to 1. And, so that more people can also join because only Monday and Friday, some people cannot join, some people can join. And at least if we have calls regularly, we can record and put it online. So you all can check and start doing some French, speaking French. Okay, so everybody is done with numbers, writing till 50. Okay, so who's giving me 30 to 40? Okay, Tanish. Remember, it's Tront and Trontea. So don't get the pronunciation wrong.
France, Panthea, Throndea,
Tronde. See, 2 is the, right? So why the? Tronde.
Tronda, Trontroa, Trontatre, वो टेटर,
Troncat.
हाँ टेत्र, Tronsant, Tronsees, Tronsat,
Tronsat.
Tron,
Tronset. Tronset.
Tronwit, Tronnuff,
Carons.
Tronvi, Tharon.
No, there's no Tron these. 40 is Carons. So after Trontnov, it's Caron.
What?
Have to learn. Okay, Tapudir, can you give 40 to 50?
Yes. Quarante-un. Then quarante-deux.
I hear you
Quarant.
say quarant. It is quarant. Quarante,
Quarante-un. Quarante-deux. Quarante-trois. 44. 45. 46. 47. 48. 49. 50.
50. Okay, perfect. So for today, we'll do numbers 1 to 50 only. 50 to 100 and then higher numbers we'll do later. But now try to learn 1 to 50 by heart. In 1 to 50, basically you have to learn 1 to 20 by heart and then just learn 30, 40, 50. Because in the middle, 31, 32 will just be the same. 30 and 1, 30 and 2. And then 41, 42 will be 40 and 1. So basically 1 to 20 is what you have to learn, and 30, 40, 50. Then you pretty much will know all the numbers from 1 to 50. Okay. So assuming now that we know the numbers, let's quickly learn how to say time in French, right? So if you want to ask someone, what time is it? If you're in France, you will say, quelle heure est-il? Quelle heure est-il? Okay, so quelle heure est-il is what hour is it? I've also written the spelling in the chat. So quelle heure est-il? What time is it? Literal translation is what hour is it? Heure is hour. So of course, because the question is quelle heure est-il? Is it? I've written it by mistake. It's not it, right? It's est-il. I'm writing it again. It's il, okay? Est-il. Is it? So of course the answer would be with il est.
L-A.
It is, and then you tell whatever time it is. Il est, it is. So let's say now the time is 1
1.
p.m., right? So you will say il est 1h. Okay, now of course in France, if someone is asking you quelle heure est-il, and when you say il est 1h, it is 1 o'clock. It's understood according to the time and the way it looks outside, if it's 1 hour in the afternoon or in the evening. So you don't really have to precise 1 hour in the afternoon or midnight, right? So il est 1h. So basically, if you want to say it is 1 o'clock, il est is it is, un is 1, and o'clock means heure. So il est 1h, it is 1 o'clock. Now the safest thing is to follow the 24-hour clock, right? So actually 1 in the afternoon is 13 hours. So you say il est 13 heures. And of course, when it's more than 1, the heure will have an S. You have to make the plural, the heure plural to agree with 13. Earlier we used unher, un, 1 is singular. That's why we used heure without an S. But now we are saying il est 13 heures, 13 hours, which is actually 1 in the afternoon. So we added an S because it's more than 1. Il est 13 heures. So because you knew the number 13, you can say il est 13 heures. Okay. So let's say how much you remember your numbers. So Tanish, how will you say it is 10 o'clock? Il est 10, it is 10 o'clock, H-U-R-E-S, heure. So il est 10 heures. Okay.
अच्छा root lot और बोलना मैम 0 0 नहीं है that is 0 0
नहीं, 0 क्यों बोलेंगे? क्योंकि 1 0 है। नहीं, ऐसा नहीं बोलते, 10 को 10 ही बोलेंगे। That's why there is a word, no? This.
no I'm saying for 10 0 0 a.m. for 0 0
नहीं, we just say 10. That's just how it's written, 10 a.m., 10 and 0 0. But when we are saying, we say ile dizor, 10 hours, which means 10 0 0. Okay. To be more precise, you can say ile dizor du matin. And some people in France do speak that way. Okay, they may say il est 10 heures du matin. Il est 10 heures du matin means it is 10 a.m. Du matin, matin is morning. So it is 10 in the morning. If I want to say 10 p.m., I will say il est 10 heures du. The word for evening is soir. Il est 10 heures du soir. So it is your choice whether you want to say il est 10 heures or if you want to say il est 10 heures du soir. If someone is in front of you and meeting on the street of Paris or wherever is your hotel, and they ask you, quelle heure est-il? You can of course say il est 10 heures because they're going to know it's AM or PM. But if you're sitting in front of someone in the call who's in France and you're in India, and just for curiosity, they're asking you, what time is it in India? Okay, then you can specify il est 10 heures du soir. You know, it is 10 in the evening. What time is it at your place? Probably he's in the US. Okay, so when you know that he'll not understand the morning evening because the clocks are different between two countries, then you can specify il est 10 heures du soir. Okay, so similarly, Tapodir, how will you say 11 a.m.?
Il est ons or HEURES.
Yes, il est 11 heures, and if you want to add, you can add il est 11 heures du matin.
Du matin.
Okay. Okay. Tanish, how will you say 11 p.m.?
il est 11
Il est 11 heures du soir. Or you can also say il est 23 heures.
Yeah, 21 hours.
No, 20.
Oh, no, to 23 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, so il est 23 heures. The safest is to follow the 24-hour clock. So just follow. If it's 5 p.m., then instead of saying il est 5 heures du soir, it's good to say il est 17 heures. Okay, 17 hours. Safer, and you follow 24-hour clock at the airport, at the train stations, at any public places, there is 24-hour clock. So if you learn that way, it'll be good. Maybe you're going to the airport, maybe your train is coming. Okay, so you can hear that, it is at 23 heures or 22 heures because they follow the 24-hour clock. Now, what if you want to say 10:30? Okay. In that case, you will say il est 10 heures et demi.
peas prawns
Il est 10 heures et demi. And then it's your choice if you want to add du matin or du soir.
मैम 32 prawns बोलेंगे ना
हाँ, तो ऐसे नहीं होता है. आपको अगर trente वाला बोलना है तो फिर आप ऐसे बोलो. Il est 10 heures 30. This is also correct. Il est 10 heures 30. It is 10 hours 30. Or you can say il est 10 heures et demi. It is 10 hours and half. Et demi and half. Both ways are correct. In both cases, the French people will understand the time. Okay. So how will you say Harshit, how will you say 6:30 p.m.?
Il est 6h30.
Il est 6h30. Or you can say il est 6h30.
30.
Or you can say 24-hour clock.
Il est 17h30.
17 नहीं होता है, 18 होता है.
हाँ,
So, ये
18. This with.
these with are thrones. I've never heard il est 18h30. Whenever it's 24-hour clock, they generally say il est 18h thrones.
30. Okay.
18:30, which means 18:30 in the evening. That's why it's il est 18h. Okay, clear with numbers? Okay, so how
Yes,
will
ma'am.
you say 5:15?
15.
Yes. You can try.
Il est 5h,
Sentence.
then 5h cents. Cans.
Yes. Il est
Il
5h.
est
Can.
Cans.
Perfect. Or you can say il est 17h15. 17 hours, 15. Okay.
17h cans.
Yes. You can also say il est 5h et a car. 5 and a quarter. 5:15. Okay, Tanish, can you tell me what is 7:45 p.m.?
वो il est 7. I'm audible.
Yes, yes. Il est, I just heard sept. It's not sept, it's set.
Set.
Setter, il est setter.
Crescent.
Il est 7h45. Perfect. Now there is another way of saying 7:45, which is actually the most common way. They generally don't say il est 7h45. A lot of times I hear them say il est 8h. So one more, 8 o'clock. Il est 8h. Moi le quart. So il est 8h. Moi le quart. So it's 8
Minus 1/4.
less 1/4. So 8 less 15, 7:45. Tapodir, how will you say 9:20?
Il est 9h20.
Il est 9h20. Very good. And if you want to tell this by 24-hour clock,
Il est 20
21
21 heures. 21 heures.
20. Okay.
Sorry. 21.
So are we confident in saying time in French? So if I
Needs
ask,
a little bit more.
sorry?
Yeah, I will require a little bit more practice.
Yes, okay. But you got the concept, right? So if I ask you all, quelle heure est-il maintenant? Quelle heure est-il maintenant? Quelle heure est-il? The IT is coming as a automatic
Autocorrect.
autocorrect. I don't know why. Quelle heure est-il maintenant? Maintenant, now. So, quelle heure est-il maintenant?
मैम अभी के
Till-
टाइम ये ना
Quelle heure est-il maintenant? What is the time now?
Catros
No.
Quelle
Il est,
heure?
after il est, time is always feminine. So numbers is the through our cat sign. But when you're saying when you want to say 1 o'clock, you always have to say une, yun, because time is always feminine in French. So you won't say il est heure, you will say il est une heure,
Il est une heure, 14.
14. 14. So il est une heure 14. Or maintenant, il est une heure 14. Now it is 1:14. So remember, there's no because in numbers we learn 0, the, 3. So we tend to say il est heure. But time is always feminine. So il est une heure when you're using 1 for time. Il est une heure 14. Okay. So everybody tell me, what is your schedule for today? Do you have any classes? Do you have any shifts? Do you have any gym? What's your schedule for today? All day at gym? Okay, Tanish is gym.
I have nothing to do.
Harshit has nothing to do. You have
Ma'am,
one thing
same
to do. You
nothing
will
to
sleep,
do.
right?
I have-
Harshit? You will sleep or eat food.
Most probably.
Okay. And what about Tapodir? So Tapodir, okay. Tanish, you have to tell me what time is your gym. Tapodir, you have to tell me what time is your lunch. Harshit, you have to tell me what time is your dinner.
Seven point.
In French.
Il est 7 to 8.
Il est 7 heures.
To 8.
The with. These with.
With
Il est 7 heures. 7 o'clock. And then what did you say?
with.
What is with?
Sorry, with. 8.
Eight. He's saying 8.
Okay, il est
With-
8 heures. So that's it. It's at 8 o'clock. That's what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. So we've learned some French, right? We've learned the verb aller. I am going to the gym at 8. Okay, just because we learned il est, it is, you can't just say it is. So, je vais au gym. I'm going to the gym. Je vais au gym à 8 heures. Okay, I put it on chat. So, je vais au gym à 8 heures. I'm going. Je vais is the verb aller. I'm going au gym, to the gym à 8 heures. Okay, so je vais au gym à 8 heures. Tanish, please put that hand out of your mouth.
Sorry, ma'am.
Now, can you tell me je vais au gym à 8 heures? Yes, you, it's your line, right? You're going to the gym, not Tapodin, not Harshit. Je vais,
Je vais au gym au
kuch nahi samajh wala if I'm a French person, whether you're going to the gym or whether you're going to the beach or where are you going? Slowly.
Sorry.
Je vais au gym
Je vais au gym
à is
at
at 8 heures.
8 heures.
Okay. Tapodir?
Yeah.
Yours was lunch, right?
Yes. Je vais. Lunch is something I don't know the pronunciation. It's Dejeneur.
So déjeuner is to lunch.
This-
It's a regular ER word. Déjeuner. You conjugate the
Je-
regular ER word. Je déjeune
Je déjeune
à
à
whatever. What time?
the heure.
Okay. The. Now, will you say the? There has to be a liaison after X because after X because there is an H. So vowel or H, it's a liaison. So you will not say je déjeune à 2 heures. You will say je déjeune à 2 heures.
2 heures.
2 heures. The X has to be. It'll sound like a Z and
Zero.
first letter of heure. So je déjeune à 2 heures.
Je déjeune à 2 heures.
À 2 heures.
À 2 heures.
A means at. So you conjugated the ER verb, je déjeune. You know how to conjugate ER verbs, right? Okay. Harshit,
Je vais dîner à 21h30.
I'm going to dinner. Je vais dîner à
À 21h.
21h क्या है? 21h.
21h.
21 hours
Wrong.
बोलना है, 9 p.m.
Yeah.
So je vais dîner à 21h.
21h30.
Okay, 21h30. So 9:30. Okay. Or you can directly conjugate the dîner to dine. So je dîne, I dine à 21h30.
Okay.
But if you're going to a restaurant, then je vais dîner, I'm going
Dîner.
to. No, you can still say I'm going to dine at 20. Okay. If you want to say I'm going to a restaurant, you will say je vais au restaurant pour le dîner à 21h30.
Okay.
Okay. Clear? Good. So revise your numbers. Revise the time in French. Okay. And last thing for today is we'll be doing, I know some of you already know it, but we'll revise. Les jours de la semaine.
Days of the week.
Yes. Okay. Les jours, days, de la semaine, of the week.
The week.
La semaine is week. That's the most important word. Week. So, les jours de la semaine.
Yes, I will.
Lundi. Lundi. Okay,
Mom.
continue. Mardi.
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 Mercredi.
Mardi.
Mardi.
Mercredi.
Vendredi. Sorry,
No, no, no,
jeudi.
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 Vendredi.
Jeudi.
Vendredi.
मैम आप ये चैट सेव करोगे क्या?
Samedi.
Yes, I can save the chat for you all. Samedi.
Dimanche.
Dimanche.
Dimanche, which is Sunday.
Sunday.
So lundi, mardi, mercredi, jeudi, vendredi, samedi, dimanche.
Dimanche.
मैम एक और रिपीट कर दीजिए.
Can you
Yes,
please repeat the Wednesday?
Mercredi. So mercredi. What I'm doing is I'll repeat again from lundi so that you all can write down the pronunciation. So lundi,
हम देखो.
lundi, mardi. No imagining things, Tanish. Just do French. Lundi, mardi,
मार्दी.
mercredi, jeudi.
ज्योति. मैम सेम स्पेलिंग आ रही है वैसे.
सेम कैसे आएगी? lundi, mardi, mercredi, jeudi.
मतलब जो आपने लिखा है ना वही आ रही है मेरी तो.
तो अच्छा वही कर लो. Vonsrudi. Remember, en is always on. That's why vn of Vonsrudi is on. Vonsrudi.
Vondridi.
Samdi.
Samdi.
Many people pronounce it as Samedi. It's not Samedi. Samdi.
Ma'am, E silent right है ना?
Yeah, so it's Samdi, but
Samdi.
quickly it sounds like Samdi. Samdi. I is E. So DI is D. Dimanche.
Dimanche.
Okay. Lundi, mardi, mercredi, jeudi, vendredi, samedi, dimanche. So, okay, quickly, what comes after mercredi?
Jodi.
Jadi,
Jyoti.
After dimanche?
Landi,
Landi.
After vendredi?
Samdi,
After mardi?
Samdi.
Mercredi,
Matriti.
Before vendredi?
Jadi,
Before
Je-
mardi?
Landi,
Landi.
Landi.
Before dimanche?
Samdi,
Samdi.
Okay. So if I say quel jour est-il aujourd'hui? Quel jour est-il aujourd'hui? That was quelle heure est-il? What time is it? This is quel jour est-il aujourd'hui?
What?
Quel jour? What day? Jour is day. Est-il? Is it? Today. Quel jour est-il
aujourd'hui,
aujourd'hui? Yeah.
aujourd'hui,
Landi.
il est lundi.
Yes. So generally we don't say il est, we generally say, I mean, we can say
Okay.
it's lundi, it's not wrong, but it's better if you say aujourd'hui, c'est lundi. Aujourd'hui, c'est lundi. Today is Monday. Aujourd'hui, c'est lundi. Okay. Now the second question. Quel jour est-il demain?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yes, demain is tomorrow.
Demain, c'est
Aujourd'hui.
Mardi.
Mardi.
Demain, c'est mardi. Tomorrow, it is Tuesday. Quel jour est-il hier? Now, of course, it won't be is it, it'll be was it, but we're not going into past tense, okay? So just imagine, the grammar is not correct, but we learn it that way because I don't want to make it complicating. Quel jour est-il hier? What day is it yesterday? Basically, what day was it yesterday?
hier, c'est dimanche.
Yes, Dimanche. Dimanche.
So the past tense would be hier c'était dimanche.
Okay.
C'était. Yesterday was, A is present, is. Say. Hier c'était dimanche. Yesterday was Sunday. The pronunciation is hier. It's silent. C'était.
Hier c'était dimanche.
C'était. C'était.
C'était.
Hier c'était dimanche.
C'était dimanche.
Okay, good. I like today's class. I wish the classes go like this always. I am saving the chat for y'all so that I can send it to you with the recording. After half an hour, you'll get the recording.
Ma'am, Thursday to class नहीं हुई थी ना एक दिन?
No. I mean, I'm not sure, but I think no.
Ma'am.
But today's class was a nice one. That's something you all should not miss. No one should miss because. And anyways, you all did it well. For a change, even Tanish performed well. Okay, so we'll stop for today. We'll send you the recording. Make sure before the next class, which will be Wednesday 12 to 1, learn the days of the week, learn numbers 1 to 50 with the right pronunciation so that we can do some listening exercises and we can see if we can do something further with numbers. Okay? Okay. Merci beaucoup.
Au revoir,
Merci beaucoup.
madame.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Merci.
Au revoir. Come, thanks to you.